Welcome back to NieR. So let's wrap up the laboratory thing. In case you don't remember, we have found notes that indicate that this was a laboratory test, and apparently Emil is involved for some reason.
Yeah, I'm starting to see why Taro-san loves Final Fantasy.
All right, let's enter this room and see if we can find something.
Let me guess. It's he was experimented on, and
Hold on, Luke. We're about to get answers.
Oh boy.
Oh no, it's the room from Asylum of the
And
Daleks.
Evangelion reference of all things.
Huh.
No, it's the one from Sonic.
That's a charming sight to see.
Yeah. Symbolism, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Moving on.
Emil?
Now he has a flashback that tells his backstory.
How does he
Or that
even
thing
see that?
pops up eventually.
He perceives it waves, and we're gonna understand in a minute.
I remember now.
Told you.
I remember everything.
It was triggered, I guess.
Extreme triggering.
Huh, that skull face
Hold
looks
on.
awfully familiar.
Normal humans. Just a bunch of regular human kids like you'd see anywhere. And then we came here. They wanted to turn us into weapons. So they used magic to perform terrible experiments on us. Eventually they succeeded. They managed to create a perfect
Which is the
weapon.
thing you see nailed
The
on
name
the
of that
wall.
weapon was number 6.
They made Yoko Taro's mask.
Mm-hmm.
But soon they
Amazing.
lost control of number 6, and the experiment was
So
deemed a
essentially,
failure.
they needed a fail-safe,
They
a
had
safe,
to create
yeah,
a weapon
some,
that could petrify number 6.
yeah, basically an
and
emergency
seal it
switch,
away.
and
So
that
they
switch
created me.
is Emil.
I'm number 7. I'm a
Huh, so that's why 6 is afraid of 7.
Weapon or not,
Now,
still just Emil.
Emil's not really a robot. He says he's still a kid, so he is probably like what you said,
Thank
with
you.
the probably genetically altered.
Well, that
or
explains why he hasn't at all changed in 5
Aged.
years physically.
Well, and in 1000, remember, they started in the early 2000s experimenting on him, so...
This is number 6.
Yeah, you just told us.
She's my sister.
Oh, goody. Ah,
I guess she's seen better days.
This thing is alive?
Nah, it's mostly dead.
My sister is the greatest
Only
weapon ever
mostly.
made. And
Yeah.
Yes, what of it?
with her power behind us, I could eradicate my petrification curse.
Neat, she'd make a great
do we
party
do?
member.
First, you have to promise me something.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, our new party member, a skeleton.
My sister somehow
moon
managed
what
to
Emil is
swallow
gonna do now is...
Excuse me?
Hold on, it's gonna be clear in a minute. Emil wants to do a fusion dance with the
original
thing.
self becomes lost. I'm
Uh,
afraid I may try to hurt all
Brother
of
and
you.
sister together at last, I guess.
And if that happens,
No, don't!
You know, I wonder what she looked like before they genetically altered her into that.
Bye, Emil. Anyway, we're gonna see an image later.
Now!
I wouldn't quite call that a dance.
We're not going to lose anyone
Oh, neat, so we'll get to see what she looked like before,
Oh, and he kind of disappeared.
I'm sorry.
You know, actually, Shiro,
friend today.
he got eaten up by number 6, so we need to defeat. Unfortunately, this monstrosity is impervious to all physical attacks, so we can only damage it actually with magic damage.
of course.
And using this, we're stabbing him multiple times because he's inside the
Oh, it's
Well,
like
not
Vice.
really, Lives. Unfortunately, again, for this thing we need to only use magic, but if the thing keeps spewing these fucking projectiles... Ow.
And his health regenerates.
No, my health is the one in green.
No.
The bar.
I swear I saw the monster's health bar regenerate a little bit earlier.
No, it's the one... whatever.
Wrong health bar.
Point
dudes.
is, with the things in this game do not regenerate unless you fail to stop to destroy the clock counter that appears.
Magic is the only
I
way
mean,
to damage this.
There we go, that's
Yeah.
more like it. Unfortunately, again, since your magic meter feels relatively slowly, he gonna take a beat. for
bullet
this.
hell! Bullet
Now,
hell!
I've had enough of that for today.
Now, here's the thing. Emil has said that this thing was made from someone, probably a government or something, as a living weapon. But for what purpose and anything, unfortunately it's one of those things that Taro had to cut off due to the lack of budget and development time.
So it's just a side thing that's really meant to help cover this character, I guess.
Yeah, but basically the gist of it is essentially what we've been seeing so far. All the semantics only help to connect more this game to Drakengard, and yeah, it's still a loss, but fortunately not enough to damage the plot because of it. Because remember, all the side stuff, which we'll see also later, it's only for an explanation on essentially what happened. For the content of its story, remember, the story itself is just Papa NieR trying to rescue his daughter and helping people in the process. We really don't need to know anything about this war and everything. But obviously us, the player, is more intended and curious to understand what the hell happened during all this time, why humanity is on the brink of destruction and everything.
War never changes.
All that jazz, yeah. Jesus Christ, these projectiles.
We must use magic to defeat this beast.
Yeah, I know why she just told us earlier.
That's what we've
It's
been
a
doing
daily
this whole
reminder.
fight. But yeah, good.
To the crotch!
Meanwhile,
Alright.
I'm just sitting here eating carrot.
Don't worry, it's almost done anyway. Alright, now should I
Here
see the
you
clock?
go.
Ah,
Jesus. I think the clock starts appearing when, there you go, when the beast falls down. Yeah, there
Dang,
it is.
even when she falls down, she deals out damage.
God damn it.
And she's throwing a temper tantrum now.
Remember, these experiments were made with children, which apparently didn't age at all. So
Well, crud! So we're fighting essentially a preteen girl. Good to
yeah,
know.
yeah, kinda.
an overpowered little girl having a temper tantrum will never do you anything worse.
Sure that.
Also, sometimes the angle is a bit weird with the bullet hell stuff.
Yeah, sometimes they track you down, sometimes we are in a straight line, sometimes we just go around in circles or something.
The camera seems to be either with you or against you, though.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
I can tell just from looking at it that the gameplay has quite a few problems.
Yeah, so outside of the extreme simplicity, remember?
No, it's
It
not
is
just
the
I
fact
can
that it's
handle
clunky.
simple. I can handle simple, but
But it's
some
also
of the-
clunky in a sense
Yeah.
that, yeah. I mean, when knocked back, NieR like suffers from Belmont syndrome. He like prongs away at the other side of the screen. There we go.
I can
Finally.
imagine it's much closer upon an automata anyway.
Yeah. And even from what you've seen in
Platinum
demo, you
games
can
did
tell.
the automata.
But again, Taro always admitted that he really sucks with his product. I haven't tested yet what's the gameplay in Drakengard 3, but from what they told me, it's a bit better than this, but not much. Also, nice impaling.
Wow, that's gotta be the worst trip to the dentist for any kid.
Alright, and now Emil will conclude the diffusion with his sister, and we'll see how she looked like. And what you're hearing now is actually Emil's theme. It's gonna be used even later on in the game. There you go, Jova, that's what she looks like.
Huh, Palatania
wow.
as a kid.
Well, she doesn't have green hair, so yeah.
Oh, it looked a
Please
bit...
stop eating.
Sorry.
You're ruining the moment.
My sister.
Now, the real question is, why Emil forgot all of this? Like, 1,000 years, he probably had, like, some sort of amnesia. It's gonna become more apparent near the end.
Thank you.
Did he?
Maybe they wiped his memory somehow.
Maybe, or maybe something else happened. Anyway,
Emil,
Yeah,
are you alright?
also the frame rate.
I'm still alive. I can feel my sister's power flowing.
Please hurry, Emil.
I-
This struggle is
I can
just
control my
really putting a
abilities
hamper
now.
on the frame rate.
Yes, we're all quite pleased. Now get out here already.
Just a second. I can't see very well.
Shoot, we should have brought those special. Shoot, we should have brought that special visor from Xavier Mansion.
Oh, I won't.
Emil, what's wrong?
Is it that episode of Doctor Who where
And
the
here
guy
we
gets
go. That's
taken
what
under?
Emil actually looks like in the cover, and that's his iconic appearance.
Huh.
God.
Unfortunately, he didn't knew it would have turned into this thing. But being a good sport with this, Papa NieR doesn't care. He's so precious.
Welcome back, Emil. You've been through a lot.
But my body.
So is that what he looked like all along, or is that just what he and his sister
No,
are
that's
fused?
what his iconic look that even got promotional material. He's even on the
We're not
cover of the
telling
game. So.
We're here for you, no matter what.
The worst part is that it looks like he's grinning with that face.
Yeah, that's one of the tragic thing.
Can you see
That
my
expression
face?
is permanent. He cannot blink the eyes. He cannot change the mouth expression. He's gonna stuck with that forever, no
All,
matter what he feels.
all just so he could get proper control over his eyes.
And magic, actually, remember. Now that he fused with number 6, he can actually use all sorts of magic and thus remove his petrification curse.
Now
So,
we can save Kainé.
okay, so...
That's exactly what they're gonna do
I
next.
think I'm okay now.
So, okay, good trade-off, I guess?
Yeah,
Hey,
and
now he has
and-
the world's greatest Halloween
I know
costume.
This is how I look now.
Fortunately, it's a
I was
permanent one.
terrified at first.
another thing, the weapon you see on the NieR is using that I'm gonna use for the rest of the game is essentially my favorite of the entire game. Is the Phoenix Spear.
We should hurry.
Basically,
She's
if you
waiting.
get the Phoenix weapons randomly, like you either buy in the shops or found them in quests,
Ha
essentially
ha ha.
they're these
Very
gold,
funny.
they're these golden golden weapons that you can power up with rare materials, but they're extremely powerful. So I always recommend to use them
So where the heck did Emil get that weapon from?
during the transformation.
I'm
It's,
guessing
like
it comes from her sisters.
besides, yeah, it's just a
From his
catalyst.
sister.
Yeah.
So what is it, from one of our bones or something? I mean...
Whenever I interact
Yeah,
with
well,
Kainé,
if you look at close
I
up,
was
it looks like it's
reminded
made
about
with
something
bones.
from
So
my
yeah.
past.
Jova, a lot of weapons just
There we go.
materialize out of nowhere.
My mind has been
Anyway,
confusing her
time
with
to
my
free
sister
Kainé.
this whole
You know,
time.
that weapon of his could make for a
Here we go.
Keyblade.
It's a more a scepter. You could see more like a Prodonal weapon.
Oh, I know. I know, I was talking about the end, though. The end looks like it could be
There
fashioned
you
into
go.
one of those...
Esuna.
Huh.
I forget what the Halloween Town people looks like.
Unpetrify zap.
In Kingdom Hearts 1, it looks is black, I think, while Kingdom Hearts 2 it looks more like a candy cane.
Also, there's no, the term is this is a Square game, so he's using Super Soft.
There she is.
Actually, if it were a Square game, the name would be even more complicated.
Unfortunately, that thing inside is still alive.
Hey, I'm still in this game, you know. I'm kind of pissed that you locked me down
Unfortunately
here.
for him, Papa NieR is way more trained to deal with the situation, so yeah, you're not getting alive away from this one.
You were blocking the door. How rude of you.
Hey, is my body...
That's not 5 years.
Hey, is my body still out there, by the way? You know,
Nope.
the one that... Oh, crud. Do you know how long it took me to grow that thing?
Now I've got to wait another 5,000 years.
It's calamari now.
Well, I can at least say that now I fully appreciate Yokotaro's mask.
Yeah.
Well, trust me, we're not done completely with Emil's development yet. I mean, we're done with his backstory, sure, but we still have the game ahead and him to interact with.
But hey, at least the monster learned a valuable lesson. Never get ahead of yourself.
Ah, what a funny story, Louisa. Keep in mind, I had to edit heavily this game in order to feed the side quest without looking at all the backtracks, so give me a break.
True that.
This part's already short.
Everybody is
This part is already short enough.
I can give you a Kit Kat if you want.
Whatever.
That's our motto around here for Kit Kats.
There we go. Now last clock and we're done.
Your time is up.
The time is
It's
up. My time is now.
no.
You can't see me. My time is now.
My time was 10 years ago.
And now time for an actual good finisher. Well, what do you do against a monster that regenerates constantly?
You erase it from existence.
No,
Shit.
more like you do something that doesn't, cut him off. More like strangle him to death.
Oh,
Huh. Shades need to breathe. Good to know.
Or like snapping. He either snapped him or suffocated him to death. It's not very clear, but he vomited blood, so I guess he just snapped him.
Remember me as a persistent shade again.
Unfortunately, no. We're gonna. Unfortunately, that's the sad part. In all the second story arc of the game, the remaining part of the Knave of Hearts is the most forgettable Shade boss. Anyway, time for Kainé to wake up.
Stay alive.
No, that's not how staying alive goes.
There's a reason why she's saying that, but we're gonna have to wait a little part. Later.
didn't have the most comfortable sleep for the past 5 years.
Probably.
You might feel a bit stiff after that.
Emil.
There you go. Yeah, it's amazing how these characters who tend to have brash and a bit of jerk personalities tend to have so much empathy for each other.
In a world like this, you got to eventually. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Good to see you, Kainé.
You know, ironically, out of all the people, ironically, she seems to have come out with the least damage appearance-wise over the years.
Yeah. Well, she was just petrified, so yeah.
I know. It's ironic, though. She's technically the one who endured...
The most, yeah.
Oh.
She just processed that 5 years have passed.
Any luck with Yona?
Yeah, and in those 5 years, we finally got that football manager game I always wanted.
Oh, by the way, Emil can float now.
Yeah, that's part of his magic shtick.
The football manager where you can actually verbally shout at the players yourself.
And from now on, Kainé will have a lunar tear, I think, in her hair, because it's a gift that Papa NieR gave to her in order to celebrate her awakening.
Oh
hey,
shit, Papa
Paula.
was standing on her feet!
Oh my god! There you go, Pedro.
Oh,
Your
wow.
5 years and your wish have been granted. Unfortunately, it's not really for good news.
This doesn't make sense.
I know!
Hold on. Please understand.
I can only walk for 3 minutes every 5 years.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have to bear the brunt of that.
It's crap.
It's okay.
Essentially,
We can
the village, being like the
No
Marvel
one's sleeping
citizens that we
outside.
are, they don't want Emil and
You
Kainé
saved
in the
this
village.
and now they
I
wanna
thought it
run
was supposed
wild.
to be Eerie that was the Marvel citizen place.
Or Seafront.
Really, I understand.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, I
Okay,
wonder...
yeah,
Look
this
at
is
me.
the perfect time to go on
As long
strike.
as you're still with us, I can
Reminds
deal
me, I
with
wonder how Seafront and Eerie are faring after these 5 years.
Unfortunately, that's one of the things that have been cut off, but it would have been unnecessary anyway. Essentially,
Sorry.
the only thing we know, I think, they tell us during one of the side quests, there have been a shade invasion to Seafront, but they damage only very little the city anyway.
Well, both places are full of assholes, so who cares?
What is the matter?
So, do we get to visit those
Kainé
places and
always sleeps
see?
outside. I never thought about
No.
that until just now.
Oh,
But
shoot.
Remember, our side quest, it's one of the things that got cut out. So Seafront is still there. It's just useful for the side quest.
We should turn.
Anyway,
I was just wondering, Michael, can we still visit those areas?
It's you to read Libs.
I didn't get much sleep that night. I wanted to blame Devila for everything. I wanted to grab Poplar and strangle her because she's a lazy bitch. Sorry. But Anka won't accomplish anything. They said and did what they said and did what they did for the sake of the village. For the sake of protecting it from the horrifying threat of the shades.
But yeah, Joe, I got confused. You can visit the locations.
If Devila and Poplar are to blame, then I am equally at fault.
Keep also those words in mind.
For not stopping for a moment to think about Kainé and Emil.
And also keep in mind also the black screens.
Goody. So...
White chlorination.
In 2016?
Sorry, dweebs. Sleep well?
Sure.
No. Well, if you say so.
I need to go see Devila and Poplar.
Very well.
By the way,
Gonna...
Oh,
I feel confident that the chance
we are gonna actually talk to her at the beginning of the next part. For now, we're just gonna go save. So essentially, we're almost over. So go ahead, Jova.
I wonder whatever became of Emil's butler.
He's still there.
Oh.
Remember, you can still see him if you go visit the mansion, but he's not that important. Apparently, well, keep in mind, the whole mansion was made up to cover up the laboratory, so probably the butlers were made as robots in order to keep that in check.
On that figure. So, if we visit those towns of Seafront and Airy, is there any different dialogue there, or is it pretty much just
Yeah, the NPCs mentioned something like that. Well, Airy, no, it's only Seafront that was cut off. We're gonna see what happens to the Airy in a later part, don't worry. For now, we're just have to wait, and the next one asking Popola and Dev about what to do. See ya.
See ya.
See ya.
So yeah.